this is Coach Buya. Thank you for listening to CFG GameCast. ありがとうございます。
Welcome to the CFG GameCast episode number 25, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episodes on the weekends, Saturdays or Sundays, and release it on podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow us on any of those podcast services or the main one, CFG GameCast.podbean.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG himself, Davis Green, and with me today are the awesome two. I'm so glad we got Flexiss back. We got Flexiss on the second seat. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really good. I'm always happy to be here with you guys.
Yes, it's always great to have you. And before I forget, how was Undefeated?
Undefeated was amazing.
Wow,
I
really?
cannot talk enough good things about it. It was over 400 entrants for multiple games, which is fantastic. Commentary was beautiful on, and not just because I did it. It was an amazing event, and I'm looking forward to the next year and many years to come from it.
Oh, that's cool. How'd you do?
So when I competed, I lost. I went 0-2, which I expected to. I've only been playing Tekken. I competed in Tekken. I've only been playing for like a month. So I kind of was expecting that it wasn't going to do very well anyway.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of people, both internationally and around the U.S. that came to compete. We had a lot of people from Arkansas. We had a guy from Japan,
What?
Q-Dans, and we had, we had Q-Dans from
Wow.
Japan. I believe he's from Japan, or is he from Korea? I
I
could
mean,
be wrong.
regardless, to
But
travel
we had a lot of
international to
people-
this is pretty impressive.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. And we had a guy from Brazil, Diddy Milkov, and we
Mhm.
had Romance coming down, gracing us with his wonderful presence. So yeah, it's a really good event.
Awesome. That is great to hear. I'm glad this is only their third year, and I'm just really glad that it's definitely growing healthily to a awesome level of community. So that's great to see Arizona AZ kind of have their time to shine in the FGC. It's been a while to kind of have something
Absolutely.
consistent. Yeah, so that's good. Well, I'm glad you had a good time on that. So what's next after this? What's the next one?
All right, so the next tournament I'll be at is North American Regionals. It's the middle of November, so you guys will see me at Vegas. I'll play you some sets there. I'll be competing in Street Fighter there. Between now and then, though, I'm just going to be focusing mostly on improving my game, hopefully improving my internet as well. So unfortunately, my streams are put on hold until I get my ISP backing gear, because
Yeah.
my internet service provider, shout out to Cox, is it is hiccuping right now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, well, hopefully you get that all situated. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, and we got on the third seat, as always, we got the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing well, my friend. Grinding away at work. We had a good stream yesterday. We played Home Sweet Home. First time I've ever played a horror game on stream. Really, the first time I've ever played, like, I'm gonna play a story. You know what I mean? That's a horror game. So we got a decent amount into the story. I'm digging it. It's not too scary yet. I didn't have a heart attack or anything like that, so we're going to continue playing it and enjoying it during the month of October. So it was a lot of fun.
Are you that bad with horror games, or like, I mean, like?
See, it's weird. Like, I love horror movies, but I can't stand horror games. They just make me so
Really?
anxious. Yeah, watching somebody else and like watching and even playing them, like they just make me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just like, and all the anxiety and stuff. It's like, it's too much for me. It's too much. It's like I can't, So we dove in, and it was not too bad. I'm enjoying it. And I got a long list. Like, I had posted something on Twitter, and a bunch of people came through, like, with suggestions of horror games I should check out and whatnot. Excuse me. So that was a lot of fun. That was dope. And then tonight, actually over at the Rio, there's an actual a official Twitch meetup here in Vegas. So from the podcast, I'm going to be going over there, reconnecting with some people that I met at TwitchCon. I'm in a Discord group with them as well. So I'll get we're all out here. So it's going to be nice just being able to do a face-to-face. Twitch is going to be out here. They got swag bags and shit like that. So it's like, go do that. Have a couple of drinks. They're going to have free drinks. They're going to have free food.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, perfect. So I'll probably go down there and shoot a little bit and then come back and grind out some Destiny 2 all night. That's the plan.
That sounds like a perfect Saturday night for you, huh? Anyways.
Absolutely. That
sounds like my kind of Saturday.
Exactly.
Man, where did you find that information? Because I didn't even know that it was actually happening until you said something about it. So that's pretty cool that Twitch is doing these small mini events in areas like that.
Yeah, I didn't know about this either, but apparently there's a series of them in a bunch of different cities, and I found out I was going to it because that's our official Vegas streamers, Twitch streamers meetup was through this through the Discord group, but then I saw it posted on Twitch, or Twitch posted it, and I was like, oh shit, I was like, that's the event that I'm going to. I was like, I didn't realize I was a Twitch official Twitch event. So I was like, okay, let's do it. I see that over here in the stream, This Is Lex is going as well, so I'll be seeing you there real soon. I'm guessing Dustin will be going too. So yeah, it's gonna be a great opportunity to meet some other people and hang out and do some things. They'll have some stuff there, so we'll see what it's all about.
Maybe see if we can get some information to be possible guests in the near future too. That would be pretty nice.
That would be dope.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's awesome. Not saying that you should. I'm just saying it would be cool. So there you go.
Yeah, no, I get it. What about you, man?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very subtle, yes. But I've been.
What have you been getting into?
Man, I've been busy with just getting ready for Extra Life, man. I've been setting up the overlays and been trying to talk to companies and stuff so we can get some good giveaways for the event. So that's been it's been pretty much it's been pretty hectic actually. I was actually surprised how busy I was this week for it. So so it's definitely coming along. I can't wait till it comes. In which, by the way, if I didn't say it, I don't think I did. But on November 9th, Smitty, Flexiss, the whole CFG Games crew, and some other people are going to be doing Extra Life 2019 at a game store. I totally forgot that. I didn't even say that we were doing this at a game store. We're going to be doing a 24-hour marathon at Triforce Collectibles in Arizona. We're set to get all up. We're having it all planned out. So it's going to be a fun, crazy 24 hours for the children's charity that we're doing it for. All the money that we're raising is going to be going to the Phoenix Children's Hospital. So if you're wanting to go check it out, go to twitch.tv/CFG Games. That's my group's channel, and definitely come in, stop by, talk to us, donate. We are trying to hit our goal of $3,000, which, by the way, earlier, I'm so glad. Earlier, it was an anonymous. Someone's put in another $100, so we're now at almost $1,200 right now, and we haven't even started streaming yet. So I'm totally hyped for that. So definitely check it out. Twitch.tv/CFG Games on November 9th for Extra Life. We need to get some video. I just feel like this is an event that we need to make a reel for. I think it's going to be pretty fun. Promo for. I think it's going to be very nice. And so we're going to but we'll see. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Oh, and what's it called? I was going to say, where did it go? Yeah, there we go. No, never mind. Don't worry about that. We'll worry about that later. Anyways, let's get back into it. Let's go back into it, and let's get into our topic. So, as always, each of us picks a news topic or discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to just talk amongst ourselves. We want you, the listener or the viewer or whatever you're watching or listening to us with, to be a part of it. If you're watching it on stream, watching us on stream, chime in on whatever you think on what our topics are. If it's a cool comment, we'll put it inside the stream and we'll discuss it with you. So definitely, we encourage interactivity. So let's get to it. Let's say Flexiss. Let's go with you first. First, what do you have on the table?
I know it's been a while since I've gone first.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm going to talk about something that's been buzzing around. I've seen a lot on Twitter, and especially in the fighting game community. So Riot Games officially announced its new fighting game based on League of Legends on Tuesday during the company's 10-year anniversary stream. The fighting game does not have an official title yet. It's simply known as Project L. Now, this isn't entirely new news, as it was hinted back during EVO 2019 that Riot was working on their own fighting game. However, this is the first time we're seeing any real footage of the game itself. It seems Riot is extending past just MOBA, as they've already released League of Legends Tactics. They've also dipped their fingers into other gaming projects. We've seen, a K-pop song. We've also seen a project potential for a first-person shooter, an animated series, and even a documentary. So it seems that Riot is extending past just MOBA, as I said. So I'm curious to see how the League of Legends universe is going to extend it past its MOBA title. And also extending to see how the cast from League of Legends, the actual characters, what they're going to pick. Because we know League of Legends has a huge roster of characters to select from. So how they decide and determine to incorporate those characters in a fighting game, I'm very curious to see, especially coming from somebody who competitively plays fighting games. I'm very interested and very invested in watching this growth, especially too, League of Legends has a fountain of wealth when it comes to support and money, especially. So we're seeing potential opportunities for a large amount of money to be brought into the fighting game community. So I wanted to kind of get your guys' take on a company like that, kind of delving in and like away from other games that it would normally, or I guess delving away from just its solo game of just League of Legends. What's your guys' opinions on that?
It's funny. I'm actually not surprised because I do remember the wheels were kind of slowly turning into newer projects. I'd say about 2 years ago when the creator of League of Legends decided to step down from the team and wanted to do his own thing. He wanted to make a different game. They said that he was going to make a different game, but then didn't really emphasize on what he was going to do. But I think that fighting and also when you saw the extra stuff, when you knew, I forgot the name, but one of the founders of EVO was making a game before Riot bought his company out to use that engine for the new fighting game that's coming out. So I just think that I'm glad because my one beef for Riot for this whole time was that there was no diversity. I mean, the biggest thing was one game, and they've been playing that one game for 10 years. So, with massive overhauls on how it looks now than what it was 10 years ago. But now they're saying, okay, we're ready to diversify. Now they recently released the phone League of Legends Tactics game. They're doing a first person shooter, which is going to be its own separate world. It's not even going to be League of Legends related, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that, because that seems interesting. And but the one thing I think is I think a fighting game will be pretty cool for them to say, because like you said, the roster is so vast on League of Legends. They can say simple, maybe 12-man base core, and then after that have DLC characters for season 1, season 2, and then yet their roster's so big they can, even if they wanted to, split it in multiple different kinds of sequels or sub updates, Super Street Fighter 4 did, with 4 different versions of it, throughout its time, if it's successful. So I'm glad that they're definitely taking that leap of faith for them to come out and just say, okay, we're more than just the MOBA series. So I'm kind of rooting for them to be successful on it. I mean, what better way? It's having more competition, more competition in the different kinds of things to a new company. Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Smitty?
I think it's cool too that you get to see these characters, and because you know what I mean, people have connection to these characters and to these games. You know, they're gonna go wherever they take them. I feel like, which is fun. It's hard to kind of get out of your comfort zone, I guess, and you know what I mean, start diving into other genres that you may not have been. You're not tested in. Mm-hmm. You're not just automatically going to be successful, but you are going to have a fan base that's going to say, hey, I'll at least check that out, or let's see what you guys can do and whatnot. Not only that, but now you're expanding, like you're saying, like the roster is huge. So, it's like being able, like they already have a pool of people and directions that they can go with this. So it'll be interesting to see what they do as far as with that. And, I'm always one for competition. And I know that the fighting genre has been, there's a lot of, it's a lot of Street Fighter and Tekken and things like that. So it's kind of nice to see another challenger enter the ring and see what they can do and whatnot. So that'll be fun to see what they do with that, and then see if they then from there kind of push it into other genres and start trying out other things. It's always nice to expand. You have your game that got you to where you're at now. I think it's there's a bit of that, especially being an artist. You know what I mean? Of like, look, man, I'm sick of doing the same thing. I kind of want to explore and do something different, and creatively and whatnot. So it's hard to be boxed into one particular thing. So I'm wishing them best of luck and excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it's a smart business choice too, because they're expanding their player base, they're expanding the opportunities to make even more money. But of course, too, it's almost beneficial all around, because we can see a growth in the fighting game community, both through money and through participation numbers. But we can also see a growth, obviously, as I said, with Riot Gaming, where they're going to see an increase because they're reaching a whole nother market, or tapping into a whole nother market that they originally didn't have any footing in. So I want to see the game do well. I'd love to see it do well, because I'm a fan of the game, and in League of Legends specifically, in some aspects. And so I'd like to see the game do well, and I'd like to see that boost the fighting game community in return.
I mean, you probably know more than anyone. Like, it's the real question is, like, you need to have an active live community. It could be like a small community. It could be 100 people, maybe even like small amount of people that love the fighting game, and for it to go like oh, absolutely. For instance, the biggest knock on anime 2D fighters is that community is good for like a good month or two, and then after the third month it just drops so steeply that it's not really it's not really liable for them to just say, oh, this is gonna be a big game for Evo next year. I guess one of the good examples of that is Dead or Alive 6. Game came out this year and there was nothing, nothing that came out. So that's the real thing I'm worried about. Like, those kind of games, especially, like, if this is going to succeed, there need to be like some sort of level of backing towards the community, or the help of them to kind of spread the word out that the game's coming out. And don't get me wrong, this game is probably way before alpha stage. We're probably not going to see this game for like another year or two. Yeah. But I'm just
there's no confirmation of like a release date or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, definitely. I am definitely for them on trying for it, because like I'm not a big. I used to play League, but didn't play League seriously. And if it's something different that's going to be like kind of out of their normality, then so be it. But I guess the real question is, do you feel like it's a little late, for some of these kind of situations?
Yeah, that's a good point. And it was something I was thinking of, because I was also wondering, I'm like, why are they choosing to do this now? Why didn't they choose to do it earlier? Why didn't they choose to do it later? What is the strategic plan behind wanting to release a game now versus releasing it next year, or releasing it, or I guess news of the game, not necessarily the game itself. Sorry, you caught me mid-yawn. Yeah, I guess why they choose to release news of the game now. Is it a marketing ploy? Is their stocks going low? Because I don't keep up with like how the stocks are doing for the company or anything like that.
Well, I mean, like,
I don't want to think that it's too. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say like, totally saying with now, but like, you know what? They've had the same game for 10 years. Like, usually when they have some kind of level of that, like, it's kind of weird that they haven't really thought about, or if they did, like, why did they wait 10 years for it? I mean, they could have said, like, it wasn't as if League of Legends has had like a lull to being like one of the most popular MOBAs ever for this for its genre. It's always been millions of people have been playing it, and they've been getting fistfuls of money from the microtransactions they had with the skins and stuff. It's like why didn't they diversify a lot earlier? I mean, now it's like they could have had an opportunity to maybe have their iOS game a little bit stronger from what they're going with. They could have also gotten a little bit from those times when fighting games wasn't fighting games weren't as popular than they are right now and stuff. But like, I mean, like, why did they decide to wait 10 years for them to just say, okay, time for game number 2? you know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, that's my only knock with them. It's like, okay, but I'm definitely for them to try on it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what it is that they come up with, and I mean, at least for me, you'll be seeing me play it, or at least giving it a solid try. So
right.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. That's cool. I am too. I'm definitely for it too. All right, that was definitely a good one. Smitty, you're up on the table. What do you have?
All right, so I feel like I had to say something, even though I don't really care. But
oh no!
I don't, but I feel like I would be remiss if someone didn't say something about it. Mm-hmm. So we all know that Fortnite had their huge season-ending event and whatnot. And I gotta say, man, what they did as far as with this stuff was marketing at its finest. Not only that, but they gave themselves time to be able to do an update, a major update to the game. We know that the thing went into a black hole. Here's some crazy things here. Number one, you had 6 million viewers watching a black hole on a screen. They ran that for, I think it was like 48 hours. It was like one of the highest amount of viewers that they had.
Wait, 6 million?
During this. 6 million, dude.
6 million people watched a black hole.
6 million people watched a black hole.
They didn't have anything better to do with their day.
I don't know. Well, I heard like people were streaming it and
they were streaming that
and sleeping and yes, dude. This was like a thing. Hold on, I have an article about it as well. Hold on, my computer's being weird. Wait, did I get rid of the article? I might have gotten rid of the article.
Man.
No.
I remember when I was gonna say because I remember when Fortnite did the whole like marshmallow concert, for lack of better words, even though it was really just like watching Marshmallow. And I was just playing Fortnite with my friends that day. We didn't even know the event was going on. We're like, why is everybody going over here? And we're like, oh shit.
Like there was a legitimate concert that was happening in the game, like that was Marshmallow?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a virtual concert.
Wow, okay, that's weird. Oh my gosh, that's the chart.
Yes. So you see this? This thing says, in a week before Fortnite's end event, the game had fewer than 1.5 million hours watched per day. But on Sunday, viewership shot up to 8.6 million hours watched. That was followed by 5.88 million hours watched on Monday, even though the only thing that streams could broadcast was an ominous black screen with a hole in the middle of it.
That's it. So there was nothing that they showed. There was just a black hole.
Oh man.
Wow.
Black hole, dude. Yeah, I don't know.
What
some people might have been. Yeah. I was like, that is freaking brilliant, man. I was like, and kids were freaking out, man. Like, there's videos and stuff of like kids freaking out because they didn't have their Fortnite to play. Like, that shit's like crack, man.
Oh wow.
Like, clearly, that is nuts. Like, I was like, wow. I was like, this is really like a thing. I mean, it made national news about Fortnite being just out. their servers went down and they came back. We now know that they're back with Chapter 2. It's crazy to me too that this game is still in early access. This isn't even a full-fledged game, which is crazy to me. And they are making hand over full. It is in early access. It's been in early access for like 2 years.
Oh my god,
it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, so the fact that they did all this, dude, they have. I mean, clearly they have marketing geniuses working for them. The things that they've done, the limits that they've pushed, doing a concert in a game, you know what I mean? Things like that. Like, I love seeing that they're pushing the envelope as far as with things and making it like. This is an it's not just a battle royale or whatever, you know, it's like it's turning into like this journey for people and you're getting hurled along this story as you're going through these BR rounds and stuff like that. But then there's story things and little special events. I you know, it's like, again, I can't hate the game, man. Like, you know, it's like I'm not a fan of the BR or anything like that, but what they do for that game has been amazing. I will always be salty for them getting rid of what the heck was it called? The MOBA that they had.
Oh, the MOBA? Oh, Paragon, yeah. Paragon.
Oh.
Even though, yeah, I love Paragon. Like, that was the first MOBA I ever got into, was Paragon, and I really enjoyed it.
So, are there any patch notes on what they added after 2.0 was released? Like, what was so, I mean, with all this hype, you would think that they would decide to change. There must have been some sort of big changes that they did inside the regular game, right?
Oh, yeah, there was lots of huge changes. You're just going to call me out because I have no idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a look.
No idea. That was not, and I know that they, like, I don't know. I've been seeing people getting thrown around a lot. Like, when you're injured, you can like pick up people and like take them with you to like move locations instead of them just being like crawling on the ground and stuff. I know that's a change.
That's neat.
Yeah. So I know that there's a bunch of. I'm trying to find a video or something real quick. Excuse me, to see if I can find anything.
I know they added swimming,
relevant, or maybe an article or something.
I know they added swimming to the mix now too, and a water vehicle, as well as a station where you can actually trade your materials for other materials and stuff. So I'm not really from
That's interesting.
I never really played the PvP of it, so I don't know how much of a difference. So if anyone inside chat has played it, I don't know. Please chime in on it, because as you can tell, me, Flexiss, and Smitty never really played it hardcore, or
I was gonna say I played the PvP quite frequently, but I haven't played it recently. So I couldn't speak on like the most newest and like latest and greatest updates that they've had.
Okay, I found an article here.
Okay.
Smitty's got us covered.
So I'm just gonna read directly from it. The biggest and most obvious change in Chapter 2 is the game's new map. The new map still has the same style of hills and forests that players are used to, but there are now other natural features like rivers that split up the map to make navigating these rivers a little easier. Epic has also added a new boat vehicle. There are also several new named locations and a few returning favorites like Pleasant Park and Salty Springs. Fortnite's weapons also got a slight revamp as part of the Chapter 2 changes. Old standbys like the pump and tactical shotguns, assault rifles, and bolt-action sniper are still around, but some of the game's more ridiculous weapons seem to have been vaulted. This takes the game back to basics and makes it feel more like the early seasons of Chapter 1. To keep track of all the changes in Season 2, we put together a list of all the changes we've found. So, new map, several new named locations, returning spots from old map. You can hide in small places like barrels now. There's a new UI. It is interesting. There's a new UI. It looks very nice. You can carry down players to help them move faster. Weapons, pump and tactical shotguns are still in the game. Standard assault rifles, burst rifles, including the new AUG. SMGs, including P90, bolt-action sniper rifles, rocket launchers. There's a new support bazooka that shoots bandages. So... That's pretty cool.
I just imagine one of those, like, you know, those like fake guns that shoot the
T-shirts,
the toilet paper roll. That's what I imagine, but with like a bandage.
That is awesome. Huh. So, I mean, well, and something really stood out to me there is that they're saying that they basically took it back to the basics, back to earlier in Chapter 1 when it was first coming out. I know there was a lot of people complaining about how ridiculous it had gotten with mechs and this and that and all the rifts and stuff. So I think it's cool that they went back and boiled it back down to, you always got to get back to the basics sometimes, especially when you get a little too far out. So yeah, that makes sense. So it looks like good changes that people are going to and are enjoying right now until they complain, because that's going to happen. That always happens.
Oh no.
But I'm actually really interested to see the changes, and it kind of makes me want to try playing the game again, just because I'm interested to see because I played it when there was rifts and there was mechs and stuff like that, and I wasn't a bing fan because I felt like everything was too convoluted and there was too much thrown at you to try to use to win, instead of just using your skill with building and your skill with shooting people. So I'm very interested to try it out.
Did you feel overwhelmed because of the different kinds of styles, like with the building? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because I'm the same way.
I like the changes that are being put out there, and I like some of the more quality of play changes too, as far as okay, you can hide in barrels or smaller objects, you can carry down enemies, you can go and shoot bandages at people if somebody needs it, like if your teammate's far away. So I kind of like that there's those aspects too, because it really encourages team play and not just 1v1 you against another individual. So I feel like maybe some of these changes too kind of encourages you to play with a team or play with another person.
Smitty, I have to say, just now, the clip that you just put in, I kind of would just not just put on the quotations that Fox Business News is not really a news organization. So just letting you know on that.
That's true.
So just but yeah, you totally. But yeah, that is just out of my mind on saying that there's 8 million people just watching a black hole, and that happened for 2 days.
Insane.
It's insane.
Is that all it needs to take now to be a streamer? Cool. Is this, you just got to find an inanimate object that just stays stable for a period of time, and then just leave it there and just say, "Hey, it's coming," and then boom. Yeah.
People will watch that. That's what's
crazy to me that people have, especially the younger crowd, have they are so attached to this game. Literally, when I was saying it, it's like crack for them. And I didn't realize how deep it went until I'm seeing numbers like these, and I'm seeing videos of people freaking out and uppercutting TVs and this and that because it just went away. Dude, that is the thing, man. That is nuts to me. So I was just all right, man, people are super diehard about this game. It just wasn't, then again, I came to the conclusion that I'm not really a battle royale person, period. But I've tried a bunch of them. I've played a lot of them, and I'll play them, you know what I mean? But it's people always people get too good too fast. I don't got time to be that good.
Well, that's okay. I mean, yeah.
And then people get mad at you if you don't do the right thing, and I can't handle that kind of pressure, man. I don't want that kind of pressure.
It's you can't. Yeah, you can't project that on me. All right, how dare you? Pretty much, yes.
Hey, real quick from the stream. Smitty said that he heard from his roommate who played the new one that the matchmaking, Smitty Tales, that the new one that the matchmaking is faster, less lag in the menus, just an overall improvement.
Nice. A lot of QoS improvements too.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that the best
them to take it down and put the work in and then come back with it.
I do the fact
they made a good opportunity out of it.
Yeah, one of the things I've always hated in these kind of games is menu time, when you're waiting. Because I definitely remember when watching it a long time ago. I really wasn't an avid listener or watcher of it, but when I did watch it, it sometimes can take 5 to 6 minutes just to get into another game when you're in a party or you're waiting for the last person in your party. So if they found a way to fast pace that's more power to them to say, okay, more games to play in a shorter period of time. So I'm definitely cool. That's definitely cool of them to do. And like you said, Smitty, it was very smart of them to just shut down the whole thing and then just say, okay, because I will have to give Epic props on the way they did this, because it doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like there was like a hitch on what they did just to with this process. Like it was planned out, like how planned out and how flawlessly executed this was. Like they got hype for the game, they got more people coming back, more people that was interested in the coming back to try out the game, even when the game started. Because when I think a friend told me, like the way it started when the game when you first go into 2.0, they just throw you in the game directly. Like there's no option menus. They just want you to say try the game out. Like they just throw you in a random match, and I'm like, wow, oh dang, okay, so that's pretty cool. So like the style, everything they did on this was pretty much right. Like if you had to say how do you roll out an update or an upgrade and just have things to go, this is probably up there on the list.
Yep.
Yeah, because like I mean, I'm like, now does this make you want to play the game again to try out what we were missing? Because like I don't even have it installed on my system anymore, on my PC anymore. Like how about
I guess I might be the only one here.
Well, I mean, you played it with your friends.
I'll take the bullet for the team.
Yeah, okay.
I can't do it because the building, man.
Yeah.
I will never be good at building, and if you can't be good at building, you can't win at that game. You have to get hard carried.
That is true. That is very true. Well,
I'm gonna hide behind stuff and shoot people.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But come on, you got to have some sort of level of competition on saying, okay, I want to beat these people, or I want to be number one, to win Battle Royale winner,
of course,
and stuff. You don't just want to be there to be the cannon fodder, you know. So, yeah.
Right.
I mean, for me, I know I'm bad at this game, and I have no interest in it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I hate the game. It's just not my cup of tea. So, so I mean, more power to them, man. Just finding new ways to just keep this game relevant is incredible. I mean, 2 years running on this, and I mean, there's probably a big, like, oh, that's another thing we should check too, is just to see how good is the drop off from the announcement to now, you know, because because I want to see if like is the hype still staying, like, are people really liking it? Is this like does it give people a refreshment of just trying to get back into the game, trying to learn all that stuff, you know? So that would be pretty cool to know. I'll probably look that up after a full week of this happens, and say, oh, okay, so that's what's happening.
I would say it's only a matter of time before the complaining videos start popping up on YouTube, I'm sure, but
I'm pretty sure.
For now, they're in the honeymoon. Yeah, they're in that honeymoon stage. I missed you so much. Oh my god.
It's like, I wish
but kudos to Epic, man. They did it right. They did it right, and I hope people were taking notes as far as what they did there. That was masterfully done.
Yeah, like a certain EA game that came out in February that we shall not name. Smitty, I just love just messing around with you with that. But anyways, that was a good topic, Smitty. Let's go to my topic, and my topic is about Stadia. So Stadia is coming soon. We got about we have a month until it's officially released today. But there was some news that was concerning about the Stadia release that was actually kind of got my interest. Well, first off, earlier in the week, Google Stadia released a video about like how Stadia works. And so Stadia, so the video pretty much explained a lot of different cool things about it. Now, the downside about this, there was a person that kind of dissected the video bit by bit, and they confirmed something that was in small print. And it was that the Google Stadia controller's wireless capabilities will be limited at launch. So what that means is that Stadia will not be wireless on PC, phone, or tablet games for at the beginning of launch. What is going to be wireless is the direct connection from the Google Chrome Ultra TV to the Stadia machine. That's going to be wireless. When the reps was contacted about it, they came back at them and they said they did confirm that there was not going to be any Wi-Fi wireless connections for the other offhanded items, because that their development team is actively saying that the most important one out of the 4 different ways of playing it is to play it on your TV, because most people would probably want to play it on their TV than their PC. So that was their logic. So like in a way, for me, I'm not surprised that there's going to be some sort of weird issues about it. They are going to work for the phone, tablet, and PC, just not now, not immediate. I feel that I think the biggest problem that Stadia did. Well, there's 2 problems that Stadia did. The big one is that they did not market this thing well at all. Like we're a month out, and I had no idea how any of this technology worked, and that's scary because I'm a network engineer. Most of my job is internet IT networking for point A, point B. And I didn't understand how they're doing this. So they did not market this at all to let people know how this is all going to work. The video explains quite a bit of it. It makes it much easier to kind of understand what's happening. But still, for the most part, people are very skeptical because they didn't really explain how games and all these things really truly worked. I mean, Smitty, you're one of them, right? So, because they didn't really tell you it. So in that sense, they failed the people for that. But the second issue I think that they kind of failed on is that they called this an early release. They should really call this a beta. I mean, with that is coming out November 18th, because I knew that it wasn't going to come, this is a brand new technology that's never heard of before. And I feel that they could, if they just was straight up and then saying that, hey, there are going to be bugs when when the system comes out, because we still don't know the kinks of this. And we haven't really, the only test that we have that we know that the technology works is the test that they did last year with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And that's it. They didn't really try. There was no beta testing for the controllers. There was no testing on how the connections was going to communicate from a sole PC. Nothing. So their test is going to be what's coming out November 18th for the next 3 months. That's why. So they should have just really said that this is what you're going to be. That this is going to be a testing phase, because now people's level of expectations are going to be a little bit high. I mean, I understand where they're coming from. That's why I'm cool with them saying, "Oh, it's not going to be wireless," because it's coming. I know it's going to be coming, but some people will be like, "How dare they to not tell us that this is not going to be wireless on opening day?" And I paid $130 for the Founders Pack, and I'm not getting what I was expecting to get out of it. You know. So I don't know. So what do you? I just want to get y'all's opinion on this. You know.
So just to confirm, the Stadia is $130.
Okay, so the Founders Pack is so what you get in the Founders Pack is that you get the Stadia controller, Google Chrome TV, and you get 3 months of the Stadia premium service, as well as Destiny with all the expansions, including the upcoming expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
can already say. Yeah, so for $130, that's actually not bad considering what you're getting, because let's say, your average PlayStation controller is anywhere, depending on used or not, anywhere from $40 to $60. And we already know that Destiny can sometimes cost an arm and a leg with all its expansions. So you're getting that on top of a TV service, on top of a gaming service. Because I'm assuming it's similar technology, or from my understanding of it, it's like a combination of a game system and a Amazon Fire Stick, right?
It's kind of hard to say
from like a perspective of like plugging it into your TV.
Okay, so okay, think of I would consider that like this. Chromecast TV is basically the portal that communicates to their server. So think of the data center as the console, not the device itself. The device is basically like the wireless connection that's allowing you to connect to the internet to get into the doorway of their console. So the reason why they were pushing on TVs is, I guess, because like right now it's already limited access for phones and tablets too. It's like mostly it's going to be like Pixels and maybe a Google tablet or something that's going to be on day one is going to be compatible to play the games. Like if you have like an iPad, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sure it makes sense because there's going to be compatibility issues as far as Apple products go versus like a Google product and so forth. I'm curious though, because if it's only $130 and I can go plug it into my TV with all those services and then play Destiny 2 on my TV for $130,
yeah,
that's worth it in my eyes, because I'm not having to spend, upwards of over $300, $400, $500 on a gaming console and then still have to buy the game afterwards. And of course that doesn't let me have any other like extras with it or anything like that. So it's kind of worth it in my eyes.
Well, looks like
Just
I may have
purely
turned
from,
someone
like,
else over to Google Stadia, Smitty. Are you going to come on board on this too?
Yeah.
Look at him fucking sitting there like that. Nah, dude. I'm gonna be the skeptic in the group, okay? Like you were saying, man, they really haven't explained a lot of some of the back end stuff for this, and this seems to me more like a beta thing than here's this full-fledged, polished, tested and proven thing. It seems like, I don't know, man, it seems too good to be true. It seems too good to be true as far as with that, and I've got to see it. I've got to see it up close and see what it looks like. This is one, and again, I'm not like, if they're successful with this and this is amazing, and you know what I mean, like awesome, like you know what I mean, like hey, other people are going to start looking at that too and doing that, and that's gonna, it'll essentially become the model. But as far as with it seems a little ambitious for what they're trying to do, and I'm just curious, not as far as like launch day they'll have those things, but let's moving forward in the future, what's it going to look like? Is there going to be what I mean? I'm just curious to see what happens as far as with that. So I'm a little skeptical of it, but I'm rooting for it to be an amazing thing, and that gamers can use, because the what they're saying and what they've got going on with it, it sounds dope.
Okay,
so
I understand your skepticism, and I definitely I really do understand it. I think the biggest problem is that there's nothing that you can compare what Stadia is doing. Like the only one that's close to it is one I believe they're called Dark Shadow. That's close to what Stadia, what they're doing. The only difference is that Dark Shadow allows you to install any of your games and put it on their server, as opposed to Stadia, which is you have to buy the game through Stadia to go into your library to play it on Stadia. So like, and I did find that out, by the way. Like they're not allowing you to link your Ubisofts or your other accounts to it initially. So you would have to rebuy the game, which really kind of pisses me. Yeah, it pisses me off. I know.
See that to me is absolutely terrible, dude. They should already have that infrastructure in place. Also from the stream as well. Smitty was saying, so their concern is, I feel like buffering is gonna, it's gonna be a problem, and that's the big hitch. I think people are looking at that. Pumpkin Muscle said that's the issue with PS Now. That is something, again, and they're talking about 4K. It's like, that's going to be a lot of data.
See, but there's a difference though between that. There's a lot of difference, because what Pumpkin was saying because of the buffering, because of what PS Now. The difference with PS Now is that they're using a infrastructure that uses an AWS cloud, that uses a cloud service. So the cloud is very it's very versatile. So you don't. It is definitely guaranteed connection that's coming on from the downstream, but all of your stuff isn't set out on the physical equipment. So your connection to with Stadia is physical equipment. There is a little bit of cloud services, but not all of it is coming from cloud. So that's why I'm a little bit more on this side than I am with PS Now towards it, as opposed to and what Smitty was saying. I definitely agree with Smitty Tales about, like, it depends on location. It's all about location. Like, people that's in rural areas, Iowa,
of course,
all these different kinds of things, definitely may not be worth it to get the Stadia Pro, because they can't get guaranteed 40 down services that will require you to go for 4K services. But keep this in mind. Stadia is going to be a free service. Just now, for the first 3 months, it's going to be the only way to get it is if you got Pro, which is basically you have to pay the $9.99 a monthly fee or whatever. the founders pack.
It's $100 a month.
No, $9.99, $9.99, so $10.
Oh,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, but you're not paying for renting the game. You're paying for the extra tidbits that you're getting, like the free game that you get a month and all these other stuff and stuff. So like in January when it rolls out, there's going to be a free service for everyone to do it. If they want to play a game on Stadia, all they have to do is just buy the game on Stadia's store and just and they can play it. I mean, with no sign-ins and stuff like that. You don't have to pay any monthly fees or anything like that. So that's the one gain I will give it on that. So they're not mandatorily having you pay a monthly fee for it. They're going to give you options, but like man, I can just imagine $100 a month would be insane, but but like from the most part, like I think that this is there are caveats right now from what they've already agreed with it, but what really kind of failed me the most is the fact that they haven't explained it and what they're trying and what the expectations are. So who knows if they're going to say that this is going to be a success when this comes out November 18th. It's more like we're going to have to wait to see what they're going to add to it but like the big thing is if people are upset of what they're seeing right now about saying, oh, wireless capabilities are not going to be available for PC on anything besides Chromecast TV. Don't worry. Just give it some time. Just give it some time and and see where it's gonna go. That's what I'm trying to convey. I mean, it's a bummer, but don't get me wrong. But like at the same time, it's like you gotta take out the kinks of this thing. And as for Google, learn your freaking marketing, just for crying out loud. Let's just just tell people.
The thing we're learning today is we should all take a note from Epic Games because their marketing is good and the game that they're putting out is obviously good enough that it's as popular as it is. So
because like the one reason why I'm wanting Stadia so badly is I really am going to play Cyberpunk 2077 on PC. I'm not going to get it on console. Because like I mean, if you get a chance to play that sucker in 4K and it gives you the opportunity, I mean, I have really good equipment to play this on 4K.
God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to play that at the best settings as I possibly can. So I will definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely try check that out. Definitely check that out in April. It's funny because like I have 1 week left until my Gamer Pass at Best Buy it shuts down for good. And I was going to buy Cyberpunk 2077, and I was like, oh, because like the cool thing about Gamer Pass, everything is 20% off. Like all the games that you buy is 20% off. So like so something that was like $70 is really $55. So I was like saving a good amount of money. I was going to buy it, and I'm like, should I just say no to this and just buy it digitally off of this off of Stadia? And then I was like, yeah, I should. I should definitely do that. So that's cool. I just want to know.
We've got three ends of the spectrum. Oh, I was gonna say we've got three ends of the spectrum when it comes to the Stadia because we've got somebody who fully supports it, someone who's willing to try but isn't completely sold, and somebody who's like, nah, I'll be hands off for now.
Well, I'm already invested. I reserved it day 2 when they announced it. Well, I was at the conference when they announced it, and I was like, I think it was at GDC this year, and when I heard about it, I was like, wow, okay, let me just get it out the way. Let me just pay it so I don't have to worry about it in the future. So I did, and I'm cool. I'm glad I did because like I'm definitely looking forward to it. And maybe this is probably the only time I'm actually willing to play Destiny 2. You know, because of it gives me everything. so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And actually, if I can port my character, it's even more power to me. So I'll say that. All right.
Yeah, well, that's crazy to me that that's not a thing. That it wasn't, again, an infrastructure that they already built out as that they were going forward. It's like it would make more sense to be able to do that. It's like, don't tell me, number one, I got to buy this game again, and you have to make a new character. Like, come on.
See, but but that's not Stadia's fault though. That's third party. That's really Activision or not Activision. God, why can't I remember the name? Bungie. That's Bungie of Bungie's side of on setting that up. So like
Right.
if they're not now Stadia, on the other hand, on saying like why we can't connect to Ubisoft's accounts. You can't merge your accounts on Ubisoft like you could do on Steam or Epic and stuff. That might be a little bit of both, but we'll see. Like I said, it's just starting, so it might change later on. We'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good episode. So I definitely love the conversations on that. Anyways, folks, this is episode number 25 on CFG Games. You can always check us out on the weekends. Next week, unfortunately, I'm going to not be here. I know I didn't tell y'all, but I'm not going to be here. So we'll try to see if we can get someone else to fill in on it. I've totally forgot until I looked it up. I was like, oh wait, I'm going to be in Austin. Actually, you know what? I might be here. If it's on Sunday, I might be here. So never mind. I'll let you know in the middle of the week. This is so professional right now. Yeah, I know, right? It was like so professional that we're actually putting it a part of the podcast to have this conversation. But anyways, episode 25 of the CFG Games. Flexiss, do you have any plans? Oh, actually, I don't know. You're probably gonna go try to fix your connection.
Yeah, like that's my goal for the next week. Just fixing the stupid internet so I can get back into streaming, so I can hang out with you good people. So that's the goal, the plan.
Watch Flexiss stream her troubleshooting with Cox on fixing her connection on Flexiss
at
underscore
144p.
Yes, at 144p. An amazing connection, really fun. And Smitty, what do you have planned?
I am going to go get ready and head down to the Rio for this Vegas Twitch streamers meetup.
Sure.
So I'll do that. And then when I get home, I'll play some Destiny tonight.
Sounds like a good plan, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you streaming tonight?
Go ahead.
Were you streaming tonight too?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. I'm just going to play.
Oh, you're just going to play? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just going to play and chill out.
Awesome. And you can also tomorrow, Smitty Tales. We need to play some Monster Hunter. I know you reinstalled. We're friends now on PlayStation, so we're gonna be playing some more Monster Hunter Worlds tomorrow. So definitely come on up on CFG Games. We're gonna be streaming that for a bit, and we will definitely be posting up on it. So what is it? It's downloaded. Debating on getting that new. Oh, you didn't have DLC yet? Oh yeah, you gotta get the DLC. you gotta get the DLC, dude. But anyways, yeah, you always we're gonna be on around 2:00 tomorrow afternoon, so definitely check us out there. And as always, one more thing, one more upsell I'm gonna say. We're gonna be once again we're gonna be doing our Extra Life fundraiser next November 9th, so 2 weeks from today. At a game store called Triforce Collectibles. I know, that's what I said. I was like, man, this is crazy. So definitely check us out on twitch.tv/CFG Games on November 9th. We're going to be doing 24 hours of random game playing. We're going to be giving away a lot of different kinds of keys for any kind of donations. Everything like bits, subscriptions, everything will be going to this fundraiser. So definitely we will love your support there. So anyways, this is Davis, Flexiss, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.